Hello, and thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Water Cooler Guys Chat. Now please welcome Niswanger, Wiseman, and Mortar. Take it away, fellas.
Yeah.
Beauty nap, power nap.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe.
It's
Yeah.
never a beauty nap or nap if Wiseman's involved.
And we're back. All
It's a
right,
handsome
episode
nap.
22. How you guys doing? Welcome around the water cooler this week.
Not doing bad at all. Wiseman just telling us about his beauty nap he had. Or his
Yeah, I
power
took
nap.
I took a power nap before we got started here. I was like, "Hey, are we
we're
still getting together?" And I was
Yeah,
like,
we're-
"Yeah, absolutely." In the studio at 9.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I'm
9
awake.
o'clock's sounding so late in our old age, isn't it?
Oh,
like
man.
9, huh? Yeah, that's when people are
9,
Oh,
going
yeah.
to bed.
It works.
It works. That's a late nap too. I probably would not be able to go back to sleep after a nap that late. So may the powers be with you, sir.
Oh, buddy, I can fall asleep anywhere. I just close my eyes. I switch off like a light switch. I'm gone.
Does that annoy Rose?
It's my superpower.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
I'm the same way.
Yes, it does.
Yep. Christina's like, how do you go to sleep so I don't know. I just shut off. Like, it's just an off switch. It's
Yeah, she has to like bring her thoughts down like a plane. Like it just circles the runway and comes down and just kind of okay. I'm like, pew. Off I go.
That I can do when I'm ready to lay down, yes. But naps just screw me up anyway. But it's just
Okay.
just a thing for me. So yeah, but yes, have the same superpower. Just going to go sleep now, and then off we go.
I feel
Usually
like
waking up before the alarm goes off. I'm like, oh, let's go ahead and turn that off. I'm awake now. So
I feel like C-3PO powering down, sir.
If you don't need me anymore, sir, I do believe I'll be able to power down.
yeah. Oh, thank you for joining us around the water cooler this week, guys. This week we'll be discussing our top moments of going to the movie theaters. We grew up in a day and age where going to the theaters was a big event, just whether it's with friends, on dates, big movies, things of that nature. Over the past few years, that's kind of been a lost thing, really, since COVID. It's slowly starting to come back, but you just kind of have that feeling it probably won't ever get back to the same as it was pre-COVID. But, we can always hope, and this generation may get to experience what it used to be like going to the movie theaters. But another thing that's kind of pulling that away is the streaming services and how quickly movies go from theater to streaming, and people are like, I can wait another month or two. It'll be out streaming and, good to go. 'Cause as we know, when we went to the movie theater and saw a movie, we were lucky if it was on VHS or DVD 9 to 10 months later. It was like, if you really wanted to see that movie, you were going back to the theater to watch it again. As opposed to now, it's about a 45, 90-day wait. And it'll be on a streaming service somewhere, and you're already paying for that. So just watch it in the comfort of your own home at that point in time. Here I am doing all the talking. Look at us go here.
I know. I was like, agreed.
You're
We're
doing great.
Yeah, we're going to
I'm right there with you.
the agree, disagree this evening, fellas. So, and it's kind of leading along the lines of technology a little bit. Technology has made us more isolated.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
People don't know how to talk to people face to face. Through the phone, they'll chat with them all day long, but you get them
Yeah.
face to face, and it's horrible.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
Sir.
I just got done having that conversation this weekend, sitting around the table with some friends with a cup of coffee, something that I know in this upcoming weekend we're going to be enjoying ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those things where with our generation and for our micro generation as Zennials, I think we can truly appreciate the ability that we can sit around a table. We don't have to have the phones in our faces, and be able to engage one with another. And you have that camaraderie. You have that, you have that ability to connect with somebody on a physical scale. You can see the mannerisms. You can watch the facial expressions. And granted, here we are in a podcast and we're having this little discussion about whether or not technology makes us isolated. And so, I mean, it doesn't go without saying that there are some benefits to technology, sure. But boy, sometimes nothing just beats the analog. Nothing beats, that person to person scale, that ability to be able to just enjoy that time with the person without having it over a screen.
Yep. And it's just so odd that, technology has put us in where we, back in the day, we had a phone connected to a wall and be able to talk to people that way. Now we have a phone with us everywhere we go. First, it was just phone calls, and then it ended up being texting, and now it's video. You would think you would be more connected, but you're not. You feel it feels like I don't need to go out in public and do stuff. I'll just do it on my phone here in this little corner of my room, and have this conversation or see them, via technology at that point. So while it in some ways connects people more, it isolates them more because it, like you just mentioned, it gets you out of going in public and you lose that face-to-face, that interaction with real people. And it's a dying thing. You could tell people who have difficulty being in a public setting because they don't do it very often or as frequent as other people who do, and they just have an uncomfortable level and discomfort, I guess is what I'm looking for there.
Well,
and so
not to be older sounding, because but COVID and the isolation that it caused did not help this out any either, because those kids were learning a vital. Going to school, you learn more than the reading, writing, and arithmetic. You learn how to interact with other people. You learn how to deal with that conflict of dealing with the bully or dealing with, the class clown or whatnot. And this generation that was graduating, going to school through the COVID, they lost all that. And they more went into their phones because that's all they had to do. I think that is a bad combination of those two things together when it comes to people being able to interact in a good way, if that makes any sense.
I watched a video that kind of keyed into a lot of this, that for children in our age, whenever we were, I say children in our age, when we were children, there was a type of freedom that was available to us, but there was also this requirement of a bond with friends that you would relay with them, whether it be through a phone call at your home, because that was the only way you had a line of communication with somebody, is if they called you from the privacy of your home or wrote you a letter, or gave you a letter, like it passed you a letter in class and something to that effect. Correct.
And then diamond-shaped notes.
Yeah, the little footballs. Yeah. And so there was a level of trust that had to be expressed between friends of, I'll meet you at this location at this time. And you having to be on time. You needed to be punctual. Or at least wait just within a certain window in order to rely on those friends. And if you didn't and they didn't show up, then you didn't meet with them. And so there was this level of trust.
And if they didn't show up, you were legitly pissed.
Right. Well, and then not only that, but we don't have our
old school ghosting right there.
Yeah. The other thing that the video had said was that we don't have our most embarrassing moments on video, on file. Instead, it takes the normal human nature of the aspect, and it stays within our memory, and it stays within our stories. One of the greatest things that we love to talk about, especially in this podcast, is the value of sharing stories with each other. And sometimes those stories, they may change over time, which is the same way that it changes in our memory or the perception of how that story is. as opposed to kids with the technology now, those stories exist somewhere in a file.
Oh, yeah.
As a document instead of something that can be passed on via story, which can actually be a decent coping mechanism for you when you do recall that again and again and again with friends. So there's so much that can be tied to that on a psychological scale of not having that technology with us that does lead us to seclusion to some degree.
Yeah. Well,
Agree.
and you can think about the COVID generation, what we're 6 years removed now. So if you're really thinking about students who got into school and that was their exposure, we're about halfway through that, if you think about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
We got another 6 years before that full generation that had to go through that is fully through school. So like that generation's, 6th, 7th grade now. That was just starting into school. So they're getting some normalcy again. So they're about 50-50 split if you look at it that way. So yeah, it's definitely, technology has definitely isolated us way more. Next, agree, disagree. Performance enhancing drugs should be allowed in sports.
Disagree.
I disagree.
I'm going to agree
Ooh.
on this aspect.
Oh, I should hear this.
He's
We
a
have-
huge Jose Canseco fan, so that
No,
explains it right there.
Mark McGuire.
Mark
But,
McGuire.
it does have a-
Uh-huh.
performance-enhancing drugs. We'll use baseball in this instance. They say, well, these players can't be in the Hall of Fame because they use performance-enhancing drugs. Well, there was probably more than what's been actually targeted and found out. They did it to get an advantage, more power, this and that. Barry Bonds was a prime example of this, but you still have to hit a little white ball. That's hand-eye coordination. But okay, so what if we made it all legal? Everybody could do it. That takes away those guys' advantage at that point in time because everybody's equal then all of a sudden. There's no advantage that these guys have because everybody's allowed to do it. What would they do then? You would just rely on your pure skill ability at that point in time. Everyone could be juiced up, but you're still relying on your natural ability at that point in time. So that's where I'm saying, yes, I can see where it's bad, but okay, just let everybody do it. Let everybody be juiced up. Let everybody be equal playing field at that point in time. And then you're back down to what should be without performance-enhancing drugs. It's your natural ability.
So
It eliminates the people who try to cheat. It eliminates their ace up the sleeve. Everybody's got it now. Now what are you going to do? You don't have an ace up your sleeve. If you're terrible, if you don't have the same natural athletic ability as someone else, well, it's going to be shown at that point in time. Football the same way.
I'd still disagree, and for that same reason. And it has everything to do with just honesty as to who you are. There is such a pressure on some of these younger kids to try to aspire to be an athlete. Well, what is an athlete? At one point in time, that really meant something. And if all you need is a medication or a drug in order to bring you up, then you have somebody who really didn't try to earn it and then come up to speed with somebody who did practice, who did lift, who did build up. It creates a form of dishonesty, and then just I guess in a sense it would be just coping with the dishonesty and saying, okay, well, we're just going to just accept that everybody lies about it. And now we're just going to, even it out, as opposed to saying, no, there is a standard here. We respect those athletes the way that they are and for what they do. Now, I can't be an athlete.
Right.
At my age, at my gut that I've got, like, there's a lot of things that kind of limit me, and I understand that because I haven't taken the time and I haven't sacrificed what I need to in order to become that athlete. There are those though that is what they really aspire to do, and people who want to take that shortcut kind of rob it from them. And it's kind of, I guess, in my opinion, to wrap it up, is it's kind of like the participation award. Like it's kind of falling in that category of no. Well, you know what? You didn't earn it, so no. I say no.
I
Disagree.
disagree. I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying if it was legal, if it was allowed, this baseball says you can take steroids if you want to. And I hear what you're saying. Well, that takes away the athlete who spent the many hours of practicing and honing in their skills. They're allowed to now take performance-enhancing drugs, just like the person who's trying to take the shortcut. Guess what? The person who's doing all those repetitions still not taking the shortcut, they're going to have that routine, they're going to have that practice, they're going to have that skill and ability. Now they have that extra edge that the guy who's trying to take the shortcut. So you got the guy who's doing all these abilities, and you have the guy doing a shortcut trying to match up to this guy. Well, guess what? This guy also now gets to take that. So you're going to create that gap still to where the guy who doesn't have that motivation to do what the truly athletic person's doing, honing the skills, trying to get the shortcut. Well, this guy is able to use the same advantage that the guy's doing the shortcut. So you're still going to have that gap. And so that would weed out the people who just try to do the shortcut and not have the true dedication to the craft.
I do see what you're saying. I do, and I don't want to try to argue too much on that. But so I guess there is a root point to it as well that I guess I didn't mention. So
Honesty. That's
well,
where you're,
it's for
honestly,
the kids.
But it was allowed.
Well, it's for the kids.
Okay now.
It's for the
You
kids
can drink Gatorade. You can take a steroid shot at halftime. You know, it's all allowed now.
I feel like it's for the kids to, like, I feel like it's setting down a precedence, it's laying the groundwork for kids to expect that they have to have pharmaceutical drugs in order to be special. Like it's the same thing when it comes to girls and fashion magazines, that they have to be skinny, they have to have makeup in order to be something.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the foundational mindset of, if you really want to be somebody, you need to take these pharmaceutical drugs.
Yeah.
And that is really the wrong message to be telling kids that are aspiring to be athletes of, you're not going to be enough until you take this pharmaceutical drug, no matter how hard you fight.
Yeah. Yeah. You got that aspect of it there too. Definitely.
I'm also worried about the amount of people that are going to drop dead from an enlarged heart just in the middle of a game.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah, you got that aspect there too.
I am 100% with Wiseman. He just phrased it better. And I was also thinking the medical conditions that would go along with that. Just, I mean, if they are just allowed to take steroids, where do they stop? When do they stop? Like, what, at this point, what do we got going? You know, like huge behemoths just whacking at a ball, like, I hit ball, run now. I don't know why they would start sounding like that. I don't know.
It just look like Monster Jam, Space Jam. Space Jam
that's what it is. You just want a real life Space Jam out there. You want to see just balls being smacked outside of that. Yeah.
But you know who still won out? The talent, the athlete.
Yeah. And Bill Murray, too. He helped out.
Yeah, and Bill Murray.
Yeah. Last agree, disagree. Cash, good old hard-earned paper money, will disappear in the next 10 to 20 years.
Agree.
Cash,
unfortunately.
disappear.
I mean, I don't want it to, but agree.
I agree. They tried to get rid of it during COVID. They tried to become a cashless society, and thankfully it didn't happen.
Well, it's there at venues, buddy. As Royals, sporting events, concerts, you can't buy anything with cash. Nope. Go to this ATM machine and put your cash in there and come back with a card.
I hear Bitcoin's making its final return.
Yeah. It is going to be gone probably in our lifetime. We'll see. We'll probably see that. We'll see. I mean, we're already seeing the last penny minted.
Say.
So I mean, it's just gonna pick up steam from there. Once they say, we're doing all right without these pennies. Let's do it with nickels. It's just gonna go on.
Who needs change? Get rid of all of it.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know what restaurant it was. that announced that they were going to start rounding up or down on the check. And I'm like, well, if you're rounding up, then you're making more money, even though it's 2 to 3 cents per person. That's, times a million people. You just made a lot of money off doing that. That's Don't round my money up. I don't.
Yeah.
Round down and see if you still agree.
Yeah,
that's right. So that's our agree disagree this week, fellas. Some good ones. I like that there. I like that. So let us know, audience, what you think about the agree disagree. Email us at twcgchat@gmail.com.
We really want to know your opinion, so
we
please
do.
email us.
Do. Let us know what you guys think
we
about
also
last
really
week.
want an email. I mean,
If you've emailed or texted before, we don't care. We'll talk about it the same. So, that's right. So let's roll into our top moments of going to the movie theater here. I have several here listed here, but would one of you fellas like to kick things off here?
I'll go.
All right.
Yeah, let me flip open my list. The first one I have is Ghostbusters Afterlife. It wasn't a great movie, but it was the first movie Christina and I went and seen together. So I put that on the top. Just in case she ever listened, I hope this is the one spot.
I mean, she'll never hear, but that's sweet. Oh, yeah.
As far as the movie, I can't really. I mean, it was good. It had good parts, but I mean,
Sam, was it Sam Raimi?
Yeah, his son.
His son.
Yeah.
All right. And did you guys list yours, or did you just do like certain? I did a top 10 list.
I didn't do a top 10. No,
I just got a couple.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. The second movie is Twister, and that is because that is literally the first movie Matt and I went and seen together. We each had a date. I remember I was very nervous. It was the first ever date I'd been
Pittsburgh,
on.
correct? Yeah.
Both double date,
yeah.
going out with Matt somewhere, and the date with the girlfriend. It was like a triple header there. Yeah.
Wow. He was certain that Kingdom Hall was just going to be waiting outside, ready to pick him up and throw him in the back of the van and take him off.
It wasn't on the list.
Oh, man.
It was
None
not,
of that was on the
it was
list. Yeah.
Not approved list. Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's a funny memory. I can't. I was so nervous, like through the whole thing. The Twister, even the tornado didn't bother me because I was so nervous about what was happening afterwards. I think you guys.
Did you enjoy the movie at all?
It was a good movie. I mean, I was more, like I said, amped up about getting caught. Like, I thought that they were in that theater somewhere spying on me. I thought that they were out in the parking lot watching us drive away. I think I drove that day, too.
Yep.
And I believe I exceeded speed limits on the way home. It was, yeah.
Back on the old Highway 69 there with the 2-lane and the hills. Oh yeah, that was good.
I think that little Ford Taurus got air on some of those. I'm not sure.
At least it still had the back window at that point in time, so we're good there. Yeah.
Stupid back window. Oh man. And then I have Saving Private Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
If you went and saw that at the theaters, and then you got to experience the complete silence walking out, and this just, it was crazy. I've never been to a movie like that where it was just dead silent and no one really knew what to say. You kind of just nodded at the person you walked by on the way out, like, oh, wow, that was impactful.
Yeah.
And then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a movie I went and saw it with another good friend of mine. I don't know if you know him. His name's Wiseman. We had no idea what to expect, and that movie blew us away with the ending and all that. Like, it was just a great, fun movie to go to.
I laughed so hard. And it's kind of one of those things that it's not one of those movies that you expect to laugh like that. And I don't want to give too much away for those who haven't seen it, but it is loosely taken after the actual events during that time period and location. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But those who know. But yeah, it was such a reprieve from the reality of the true events that I laughed
such a shock.
so hard.
Yeah. Brad Pitt, fantastic in that.
Oh, great.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And Leo, too. Leo was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Gave us so many memes.
Yeah.
There is.
I won't go through, since you guys don't have a full top 10 list. I'll just go through my top 5. That way.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah. I mean, we can go through some. If you want to come back to others, you definitely can.
All right, you guys go for a couple.
All right. What you got there, Mr. Wiseman?
Okay, I can give you a couple, and then we'll just kind of. I only have a handful, and I
Okay.
just keep them locked up here. It wasn't anything that I wrote down, but Niswanger did touch up on one of them, which was Saving Private Ryan. I do remember having watched that, and there was that moment at the end where it was just a very surreal silence. And if you were fortunate enough to have some gentlemen who had served and to have them in that theater with you, it was a moment that I guess for my younger generation at the time to look over at them and say, "You're my hero." Very, very, very special. And it's kind of what Spielberg knocked it out of the park. Spielberg and Hanks both knocked it out of the park when it came to that film, because it wasn't just a piece of art, but a piece of history. And it resonated with our boys who were there and who got, who were fortunate enough to come back. So, yeah, without having to gush too much or wax patriotic, but it was something special to behold.
Yeah.
Another one, and there's a couple of these, but I'll mention one for now, and I'll mention another later. But my dad, he would always make it his goal to really make an experience out of a movie that he really enjoyed or was looking forward to. And the one that my brother and I were fortunate enough to go watch in the theaters was Back to the Future 2. And one of the things that you would get to have were if you recall, Pizza Hut was running one of those deals where if you bought a personal pan pizza for some of your young ones, you could get one of those futuristic sunglasses. And so we would get the Back to the Future 2 sunglasses, and then the memorabilia cup back when, that was the real thing to collect. Some of them were glass. You could get the actual memorabilia glass. And then, of course, we went to go watch the film in theaters, and such a wild ride. It remains one of the cult classics. It's one of the biggest and best sci-fi movies of its category and era. So yeah, having that opportunity to go watch that was a ton of fun.
Nice.
I got a few others, but I'll hold off. Matt, what about you?
Did you wear the glasses?
I sure did. You bet I did. You bet I did. I was young enough that I wasn't embarrassed, man. I sported those things like I was a celebrity. When I got the looks, which was obviously like, what the heck are those? I was like, yeah.
No one was missing you either. You're probably like 6'9" wearing those things.
Yes, at 12, I was 6'9". You are absolutely right.
Well, I kind of ring the same bell there with, Saving Private Ryan. I remember leaving the theater that way, just somber, just quiet. Another film that it was very much the same way, but just different impact was Passion of the Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Watching that film and walking out, you didn't do much talking at that point in time. It was just shock and awe what Mel Gibson did. Just
He's got
crazy.
He's got the resurrection coming up.
He does. He's got that.
Yep.
He does. So I can only imagine what that's going to be like. So those two films, different sides of the fence there for reasoning why. But yes, very impactful films that you were pretty quiet leaving the theater and just trying to absorb everything you just witnessed. Christmas Day movies. We used to, COVID kind of ended this, but there used to be movies that released, like the week before Christmas or right around Christmas. And it was kind of a tradition. We would go on Christmas Day, do the gifts and everything. Then that afternoon, we go to a matinee and see a movie. And it typically was a fairly decent blockbuster coming out, but we don't have that anymore. But a couple of the movies I can remember going to see when I was younger was Starship Troopers. That was a movie that came out around Christmas time, and didn't know much about that film. When they're like, oh, it's just something to do. It walked out, just thoroughly enjoyed that film. Just great sci-fi film. Should watch it sometime. Nice one.
Thank you.
Another
It's
one
good.
that Tanya and I and her dad went, and the kids, was The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. That was a Christmas Day film we went and watched.
It's a good
Fantastic movie
With
to
Ben
watch.
Stiller.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I got the Lord of the Rings trilogy, 3 Decembers in a row. Just going to see that in December and just knowing, hey, next December I get to watch the second one, and then the third one. And just fantastic memory of watching Lord of the Rings in the theaters. Harry Potter films, going and seeing those and hearing the audience cheer and, be excited through those. Midnight releases. I remember Tanya and I went and watched midnight releases of the Hunger Games movies, going and seeing those, staying up till midnight and watching a film. And they don't do that anymore. It's just, oh man.
Stay up till midnight? Yeah. That's no.
Well, yeah. And go watch a movie and get out, at 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
At seeing the Twilight films in theater, especially that last one, and seeing that big twist. And just the audience, like, what is happening? This isn't the book,
I was one of those
hearing
people
in the
what
theater,
are you
like, what is
doing?
going on?
Yeah.
Just the crowd interaction with the film in game.
In game.
Oh, just people cheering, people crying, people just you don't get that at home. You get just these random people in the movie theaters watching Twister. The surround sound of the movie is there. For me personally, it's from Mission Impossible 3 all the way through the end, making a purpose to go see those in the theater, to support the films. And just those are films you want to see on the big screen. And just from 3 on, doing that. The lead up to episode 1 of Star Wars. We had the original trilogy. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we're going to finally get more Star Wars. Prequel. The build up to that film, and then going to the theater and watching that was just nostalgia, even at that young age for me. Nostalgia, going back and like, yes, we're going to get more Star Wars, So, we got that. I can keep going here, fellas, but it's just The Matrix, going and watching The Matrix and The Mummy, not knowing what I was getting ready to experience was going to be monumental filmmaking, and just being wowed about what I was watching on the screen. Just great films. Taking my baby girl, Paige, to go see Avatar when she was a whopping 5 years old. It's like, well, this will be interesting. That girl sat through that movie glued. We didn't have to go do any restroom breaks or anything. She was glued. She loved that film. And I was just like, okay, it's just fantastic. And then taking my little nerd with me, my little girl, we'd go see all sorts of movies, Transformers, this and that. It was always fun having her there, taking her when she was younger, and to go see movies like that. Very fond memories for me and her and doing those things. So, but I was shocked with Avatar, with the length of it. Yeah, she did not want to miss any of that. She absolutely loved that film. Getting together with friends, or family, going to see the big movies, that's just the thing for me. And Tanya's going to be there with a giant bucket of popcorn, whatever the biggest they have. She's going to be there. I'll be there with my Twizzlers or some sort of candy. It's just what we do. I love the movies, doing that. We're going to be able to do that a little bit this year. We got another Avengers Doomsday film coming out, and seems like there's a couple this summer that we'll probably try to sneak in and see and enjoy. Sneak in and see. We'll pay our tickets and go see. But it's just just like The Housemaid. I just saw that they're going to make a sequel. They're going to start filming that this year, so we're looking forward to that. So, sorry, fellas, I pretty much went through my list, but
I pretty much covered everything on my list too. We could be good right there.
I've got a couple more actually.
Yeah,
what you got? What you got?
Well, first of all, I'm glad that you had mentioned it, Matt. I was actually going to mention it, The Passion of the Christ. That was another one of those that was very similar to Saving Private Ryan. And it was, Rose and I both came out of that movie, and that car ride home was quiet. Tearful, but quiet. And there was just so much to just...
You were processing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And it was so well done. So well done. Watching Transformers with my boys. Taking them to go watch all the different Transformers. The first one still remains my favorite, absolute favorite. Yep. But to this day, my oldest son, Caden, he just quotes so many of those movies. Like, he absolutely loves them. And so, yeah, I mean, just as a dad, taking your boys to go watch Transformers when you grew up watching the cartoons as a kid, man, that's something special. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Even Optimus still with his voice. The same voice. Is like, what?
Yeah. Let's see. Another one. Okay, so my dad, one of the other ones that my dad did for my brother and I to really make it special. He took us to, at the time, the world's largest McDonald's that was in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Over the roads. Yeah. Yep. It's like a mall, but we went there, and McDonald's was just introducing its brand new feature item, the supersize.
Yeah.
And it was all based off of the motion picture by Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park. Yep. And getting to go watch that film was, as a kid, that was such an amazing experience. For someone, a young boy at my age, there's two things that fascinate you: space and dinosaurs. And if it wasn't Star Wars, Jurassic Park checked that box for me. Dinosaurs came back to life, when I was a kid, and that was just the coolest thing ever. And so just having that opportunity to really watch that film. And there was some that were decent, and then some of them that were a bit of a miss as the sequels kind of go on and on.
Yeah.
But the first one still remains the king, and it holds that sentimental value for me for that too.
Yep.
Another one is, Matt, you mentioned it, Twilight.
Yeah.
Right around Rose's birthday, right around in November, Twilight would come out. And for her birthday, I would take her to go watch the Twilight movies, and she was enjoying them. She absolutely loved it. She knew that whenever her birthday would come around, one of her presents that I would never tell her what it was going to be to go watch Twilight.
She'll never know this year.
Yeah. And so, just having that opportunity for Rose and I, and we just go out on a date and go catch a movie.
Yeah.
One of the other things is that not necessarily that it was a movie, not any particular movie per se, but where we went. And that was the drive-in movies.
Oh, yeah.
And when you would have a double feature, and you would have the popcorn and the soda and the snack that would, let's go out to the lobby, let's go out to the lobby, let's go out to the lobby and have ourselves a treat. And just having that little intermission that was in between the films, and you would get up out of the car and you would smell the stale popcorn and the fumes from the cars. It sounds terrible, but man, is it such a nostalgic memory. And being able to get nestled in the car. And honestly, I only remember just a handful of films that we went to go watch, but we watched so many, and I would pass out to the double feature. I would be wide awake for the first one and so excited to watch the second one because, oh my gosh, we got to watch two movies back to back. Yeah. And I'd be out like a light by the time the second one's coming out. And then the drive home, I'm waking up and the movie was over and we're almost home. But there was a drive-in theater that was nearby where we lived, about a half an hour. And when we would pass by, going from one of our major cities, like in Springfield, and head to our little bitty hamlet of a town in Preston, we would drive by the movie theater. And when we would, my dad would tune in to that station. And so we would listen to the movie, and my brother and I would watch, and we would just like plaster our face to the window and watch the movie as we're listening to it on the radio in the car until we, lost connection to it. It's the coolest thing because we were stealing the movie while other people had to pay for it.
Early pirating.
Yeah. Great experience. Such a great experience.
We just drove through that town this last weekend, so very familiar with that. Yep, very familiar. Great memories. Fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. So, well, good job. I enjoyed that, fellas. It was just nostalgia, just me listening off and talking about these movies that we went and saw as kids and growing up. And even for me, it wasn't last year; it was the year before. I went on a little movie-thon. I went up to the city. Went and saw Oppenheimer, early matinee. Went and had lunch, had Joe's Barbecue, drove over to another theater, was able to pick up the Mission Impossible movie at that point in time, and then stuck around and got the late movie of the last Indiana Jones. It just 3 movies in one day, and it's just by myself. I went, Tanya was working. It's like, I don't want to see any of those films. It's like, okay, that's fine. And, it's just, so I enjoyed that, and I was like, when 3 movies, multiple movies are out about the same time, I'll probably do that again if she doesn't want to see any of them. But, if she wants to see some of them, then I'll hold off on those. So, but good job stuff, guys there. As you fellas know, we have a game night coming up here this weekend. I asked you guys to kind of think about what is something that you're most looking forward to, and of game nights coming up here. What's something that, of game nights past, but, what's this coming week? What's something that you're looking forward to the most?
I particularly, and this is game night weekend, so the people for game night won't really understand, but it's getting there at usually 7 or 8. We go to eat, but then afterwards we play the cards around the table. We're there, we're eating snacks, we're just talking back and forth, sharing, just the experience. And then the next morning we go to sleep, and the next morning we do it with the coffee. Like, it's just, we all come right back to the table and we're just talking again. And to me, that's one of my favorite parts, is just sitting down there and playing cards with you guys and just shooting the poo. Just, just the shared experience there. Yeah. As far as actual game night, I'm always intrigued to see what you're going to do next, what new piece of equipment you have to try out, or what new system you're about to put into place. And then to try and watch you conduct the crowd that is getting out of control, and you're just keeping them in.
Try to keep all these feral cats in one line. That's good luck with that. Well, this one's jumping over the fence over here. Oh, this one's climbing under, crawling under this way.
This one's on its back purring.
I can literally say, all right, guys, we're getting ready to start the game. Can we not have a restroom break or food break for about 45 minutes? We'll get through this pretty quick. 5 minutes later, 2 people are getting up. I'm going to go to the restroom. I was like,
in that case, I better get this out of the way.
Yeah, but we already started 10 minutes in. And we're like, I think they've forgotten. Or they really are feeling pretty good and have no clue, what I'm talking about. They probably do need to go to the bathroom. So they broke the seal and need to go. So, how about you, Mr. Wiseman?
I'd say about the same thing. I was going to mention the same thing that Mr. Neswonger said. Showing up, pulling up the vehicle, getting out, and just giving some friends a hug and just telling them hi, sharing some stories, how the week's been, how we've been since the last time. One of the greatest things that you can have with friends that you don't get to, on a personal scale, see so often, is how easily you can pick right back up where you left off. Yep. And having that opportunity to do that, it's such a beautiful experience. And so, yeah, I agree. Having dinner together, having that inaugural dinner, to kind of set the mood and set the tone for the weekend, and being able to visit with each other and share, and Tanya roasting you left and right, and you being very patient with her as she does so eloquently, might I add, and then having the card games and being able to play and visit and laugh and share stories and roast each other some more as we're at the table.
Yep.
And then in the morning, I think that's probably my most favorite, is waking up over coffee, and just as everybody kind of trickles down and gets seated, the conversation shifts from one thing to the other. And before you know it, we're bearing our souls as to what's going on with our lives at the table, and just sharing and just having a great time doing it. And again, setting the tone for that day, and just, it sounds weird, Matt, but I love cutting up the cheese and the meats and setting up the room for the game night. It's weird, but I love it. It's fun. Nicewonger and I, we kind of fall into some same old shenanigans when it comes to that. But when it comes to your equipment, it's all serious, and we get right down to business. But and then of course, when it comes to the games, oh man, the games. Watching the interaction with everybody, and just the love of the game. Not only just the love of the game, but as everybody starts coming in, it's a hug. It's a, hey, how you been? Oh, it's good to see you. We're watching the same thing that we just spent the last day and a half doing. We're now watching it again with fellow friends and family. And then just getting down for that game and playing Bamboozled towards the end. I know everybody starts to trickle out, but then you get those that were like, I want the trophy, and you play the Bamboozled.
I mean, hey, the trophy system.
I've got that.
Yeah, like I have them mixed into my action figures on that wall, and I need to get more because I only have 3 or 4.
I mean, technically, I pretty much just mentioned the entire weekend. You just asked, what do we love about it? Brother, we love everything about it.
I mean, the only part I don't like is the leaving part.
Yeah.
That's
Or get to Nevada and like, you think you want your wallet this week? Oh, man.
Just don't leave your phone on top of your car. That's all you got to do.
Man. Guilty of all of it. See, it starts before I even get there. I don't even have to wait to get there to get roasted. You guys just do it every day.
Oh, we're just buttering you up for Tanya. She's got the real zingers. But,
man.
Yeah.
That's I don't. Sometimes those zingers, you're like, oh, okay. Oh, God, that was a good one. No
Early
shame in
morning
that one.
Chris.
Yeah.
Early morning Chris just sitting down with his cup of coffee, barely getting his first sip and getting some of those zingers, and he kind of looks at me going, huh.
Yeah.
About 9:30, 10 when the nice
That's
wonders
what I was
finally
getting
trickle
ready to
down
say.
there, Wiseman's and Mortars have been up since, 7, sitting there. We're on our like third cup of coffee by the time nice wonders get down. And like, hey, got any coffee? Yeah, I'll make a third pot. We'll get you one here, guys. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't remember any of that bearing our soul thing in the morning, so that must happen before I wake up. Like,
Yeah. You guys are sleeping in. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's also a nice vacation. We want to sleep in a little bit. The B&B we're staying at is amazing.
Oh, it's fantastic. 5 stars. Would recommend, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
The only problem Wiseman has is his poor little feet are hanging off the edge of that metal bed.
No argument here, man. By the time my head is hitting that bed, I'm out anyways.
And it literally is hitting the top of it while his feet hang over the bottom.
It's one of those things. We were just talking about all the movies growing up. I was like, when I get a home and a house, I want to have enough money to build a home theater. I want a home theater in my house because I just love watching movies. And since I've grown up and things have changed, I'm like, I want to have a game, a party room, So it has shifted from a theater to wanting a game space and space to have, the amount of friends that we have. But, unfortunately, not all can make it. So we're like, kind of limited on space. Like, I want to have more people, have more people join in what you guys just described. The friendship, the getting together, getting away from the stresses and everything of the week. And we're, since the last time we were together, just leaving those at the door, as they're walking in, and the smiles, the laughter, the memories that are being made at that point in time. I just love that, cherish that.
Mm-hmm.
I love you guys rolling in, and, tradition, we're going to be up there at Papa Don's, having some amazing food and catching up, visiting, and then, as you guys said, playing some card games that evening, and then just waking up to coffee and visiting, and then whatever we decide to do for lunch that day, and then,
or
just
breakfast at Daylight Donuts.
Yeah, you got your breakfast there too. So it's just the looking forward to the conversations, the laughter, the trash talk, the competitiveness. I thoroughly enjoy, how people have just come to really enjoy the games that I've created. The song game, when I announce there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pointers this round. Oh my gosh, you would have thought people won some money on lottery or something. They just, it's just super excited, and some of that is pretty legit. If you got the year release on the, on the dot, that's pretty cool, so.
Not to brag, but.
So, I mean, it's just great. I enjoy all that, seeing the laughter, the smiles on people's faces, and that's what I do it for. Honestly, that's what I live for. And just knowing people are leaving with smiles on their faces and having that as a memory that they'll take with them, as long as, the rest of their life there, that's what I enjoy. And having the kids here and the family that are able to come, brother, sister, everyone that's able to make it. It's just a wonderful time. And
Nate,
friends. Well, yes, as I was going to say, friends and family all joining together, becoming one big family. And I just absolutely love that.
I guarantee you, when you get your bigger space, you're gonna be like, I can invite 53 now. I know 54 people.
I was like, oh,
well, yeah.
No, I honestly think we can get about 45, 48 comfortably. And so
that is going to be a ruckus.
Yeah.
Not to spoil the movie or anything, but he's gonna have like a Schindler's List moment. He's gonna look over at a shelf and go, "I could have had one more. I could have had one more person here."
So I didn't talk about trying to herd feral cats at that point in time with that many people, but it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I don't worry about it. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be, and it is part of game night, is trying to keep everyone focused. It is just part of what it is. And I'm used to it. I've learned so much over so many trial and error of games, tweaking my game to what it is today. And
you are just so patient with the crowd, man.
Yeah.
You are. I know you've been patient with me and some of the things I'm doing, just like, shh. Like.
I just, it's just part of the thing. I enjoy it. It's just like, well, this is occurring. This will be stuff that we can talk about next next time around. This occurred this time. So very good.
Or over coffee the next morning.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah. Speaking of game night, as we had the last time, was our first time around having the water cooler guys trivia to kick things off with, and we will have that again this time around for listeners who are able to attend, and we will have another water cooler guys trivia this time around. There will be again 6 questions asked from previous episodes, not necessarily this episode, but previous episodes, with another chance to win $20 and the all-inclusive rare Spaceman trophy that Greenway is currently the only one in possession of. Will she be able to get a second one, or will someone else get their first Spaceman trophy this time around? As typical with some teachers in school, they'll kind of give a little hint about the quiz and the topic of the quiz. So I will do that this time around for people who are listening. Poor Christina. She won't know what's going on here, but
it's gonna be entertaining watching her do this.
I-
People
I-
are looking at her like she
Yeah,
should know the answer.
yeah,
There's-
I'm honest.
By the time Matt's going to ask these questions, she's going to look over at Chris and go, "What is he talking about?" And Chris is going to be a bit far gone to answer
Yeah,
those,
like,
going,
I don't
no
remember.
idea.
I don't know idea.
I was gonna mention that. Like, don't come to me for the answers either, because I'll be like, I don't know. What?
I don't remember that episode.
Was I there? Yeah.
So yes, for those, and I was shocked, not shocked, I should say, but I was only anticipating people who actually had listened to the episodes to participate. I had probably 5, 6, 7 people that took the quiz, never listened to a single episode. It was like, I bet they would select this answer or something. So I was just like, okay, that it's open for everybody. They can take stabs at it, whatever it may be. So the clue I will hand out this week for the trivia that is going to occur, again, 6 questions. And I also have tiebreaker question if there ends up being a tie, which we did last time. Actually have a tie. I had to go to tiebreaker. All of the answers to the trivia questions are from the following episodes: episode 10, episode 18, 19, 20, and 21. If you have listened to all the episodes, that's fantastic. If you want to refresh your memory on those 5 episodes, 10, 18, 19, 20, and 21, all of the answers to the 6 questions are within those episodes. So just a little clue there for people there to join in, and it'll be fun times. So email us, let us know what you guys think about our podcast here at twcgchat@gmail.com. I'll keep throwing it out there until someone decides wants to email. And again, if you've already emailed,
Please.
you can do it again. So
I think it would
What
be a
was the
great
lost
idea if
numbers?
somebody tried to send us an email that you could possibly use as a bonus question that you could ask at game night
Yes.
too. I mean, that would be
Yes, yeah.
fantastic.
what did the writer say or request this time? Who remembers? And who was the writer? So let's roll into let's do a little blind ranking. Then we'll finish off with our trivia for the week here, fellas. So
All right.
let's do a little blind ranking here. We're going to blind rank. And of course, there's a lot of these actors or such of this category. I just found 10, went with 10. It happens to be all men. There's obviously a lot of women that are in this category. So don't feel like I am excluding people. I had to exclude a lot of people. Blind rank, the top 10 comedic actors. This is going to be TV and or movie. TV and or movie. And again, there might be some comedic actors that you think of or just popped into your head that I may not give you. You got to keep that in mind there. So just based upon blind ranking, 1 through 10, we're going to start off with a good one here. Steve Carell. Where would you rank him, 1 through 10, on comedic actors, TV and or movie?
I'm thinking 7. What do you think, Naswinger?
I was thinking 6.
6?
Yeah. So
I
we'll
can
go
agree
7.
on 6. I can agree on 6 with you.
6? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have Mike Myers. Good old Mike Myers. Comedic, movie, or TV?
I could probably put him at about a 9 for me.
Well, I was thinking 8. So,
Not
no,
big
we'll go-
Austin Powers fans here.
That's all
I
you
mean,
Ooh.
yeah, it's just kind of a gimmick
Wayne's
at this
World,
point.
Austin Powers. I mean, yeah.
If
I'd
you missed
still
the
go with
90s, then you
9.
missed him.
Yes, that's very true.
I think I'm hitting a 10 with those two. You just
All
did,
right,
like-
so you do a 9 or 10 there, guys.
We'll stick with
Which one you
9.
doing?
9.
We'll
Stick with
leave
9,
room for
okay.
10.
All right, next up we have Eddie Murphy.
I'm
Man.
tempted to fill in 10.
Right. I'm going to go at least a 7. For me.
Okay. Yeah.
You do a
That's fine.
7? Okay.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. Okay. Because he also had some stand-up that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Next up, we have Adam Sandler.
Ooh.
Where do you have Adam Sandler in your blind ranking? You have 6, 7, and 9 taken up already.
I'd say he's a solid 4, if not a 3.
I mean,
Now, don't presume some people are on this list, but, I mean, you got to go with your gut feeling here, though.
I would do a 3 because I can really only think of maybe 2 other people that are funnier to me than him.
I can go 3.
Okay. Next up, Robin Williams.
Oh, now I can think of 4 people that are funnier. Oh, man.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
That's a tough one. Mork and Mindy.
Is he better than, well, you put Adam Sandler at 3, so is he better Sandler or worse than Sandler?
Boy, I think the hard thing is where did he fall for me growing up? Because you can't help but have a little bit of sentimental value. And Adam Sandler was for me getting older and kind of changing in my humor, whereas Robin Williams was when I was younger. I might slide him into 5.
I'll take 5 with you.
Like 5?
Okay.
That's a hard
Robin
one, though.
Williams
It
at 5.
is.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's hard. It's hard.
Next up, we have John Candy. John Candy.
I really like John Candy. I do.
Oh, is he in your top? He's in the top level?
He's in there for like one of the classics. Uncle Buck, Home Alone.
Great Outdoors.
Great Outdoors. Like,
Man. That means if we have Dan Aykroyd or Steve Martin coming in, because I mean,
honestly, I'm thinking of some of them too. Like and it's going to be hard because if we fill in these spaces now, then we'll be forced to kind of.
We have 1, 2, 4, 8, and 10 left. So,
do you want to put him in at 4?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I was thinking 4.
Okay. All right. Let's do
I'll
that.
Respect your love of
John
John
Candy at 4. Okay. Next up, we have Jim Carrey.
There we go.
I'd put him at a good 2. He's a good 2 for me.
Who
Are you thinking?
Jim Carrey?
You got no. Okay. Well, there's some real classics though. For me, it kind of really depends on how classic Matt gets here.
All right.
If you want to go one, I tell you what. If you want to go 1, I'll go 1 with you, and then if we find somebody to easily slide in a 2, I'd still be comfortable with that.
I'll go 2, just because I don't want to knock us off if he throws someone out there that I haven't thought of. So
Okay.
I'm good.
All
with
right,
him
so
being
Jim
top
Carrey
2.
in at 2. I know where I would put this guy. We'll see where you guys put him. Will Ferrell.
What do we have
Rick.
left?
1, 8,
and 10.
Oh man. Well, Will doesn't necessarily hit it too hard for me compared to some of the other comedians. I see that look on Niswanger's face of really.
Really?
So, do you feel like he deserves 1?
No, I don't think he deserves 1, but he
So
deserves
8?
better than 8.
Well, yeah, but we put ourselves in a pickle now. Now we got 1 and 10.
He deserves like
these
deserves
last
like
2.
100. That's
Yeah.
what he feels like. Yeah. Will
You hate Will?
Oh,
Not
can't
hate.
stand him.
You don't like him?
No, don't like
wow.
any of his stuff. No, about the only thing I do like is was it Twin Blades or Blades of Steel?
Blades of Steel.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Or
with
Blades
Napoleon.
of Glory.
Blades of Glory with Napoleon. That's about the only thing I really like of Will Ferrell's. Everything else, no, I can
Step
live without.
Brothers? You didn't like Step
Nope,
Brothers?
didn't care for Step
Oh,
Brothers.
goodness.
Talladega Nights, don't care for it. Yeah, Ricky Bobby, nope. To me, he is someone who tries way too hard to be funny. He tries to be funny,
Well,
and that's all I see is him acting to try to be funny, and no skill, no nothing. He's just trying. Jim Carrey, just natural. Ad lib, natural. Will Ferrell is trying so hard. And so, yeah.
As a person who's always trying to be funny, I recognized.
He recognizes the effort.
So where do you put Will Ferrell then, fellas?
Let's say
8. Yeah.
We're gonna have the dichotomy, the true
Yep, here it
dichotomy
is.
of
All
1 and
right.
10.
Oh,
Here we
man.
go. Next up, Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller.
I do. Have you guys ever watched Mystery Men
Mm-hmm.
with Ben Stiller
Mhm.
and Meet the Parents and all that?
Night at
Look,
the museum.
Night at the Museum, Something About Mary.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's great and all. I do, but I'd say he's 10 material.
Yeah, that's poor soul doesn't deserve 10, but we'll have to give it to him.
Somebody
All
does.
right. So you're number one, fellas.
No.
Okay, here
Coming
we go.
in at good old Steve Martin. Steve Martin coming in
Okay.
at number one.
I'll accept that. I mean,
So,
that's,
Number one, Steve Martin. Number two, Jim Carrey. 3, Adam Sandler. 4, John Candy. 5, Robin Williams. 6, Steve Carell. 7, Eddie Murphy. 8, Will Ferrell. Way too high. 9, Mike Myers. And number 10, Ben Stiller.
I'd say that's actually a fairly decent list.
Good job. Yeah.
It's a bit more classic compared to how I think some people might view our comedians. It's definitely a
Yeah.
classic taste.
Who was possible one for you, Wiseman?
A
you were
one
holding out
for
for?
me. Well, I was thinking of Martin Short.
Yeah.
Because between him and Steve Martin, those two guys, they're dynamite together.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of John Candy. I was thinking of, oh gosh, why can't I think of his name now? I was just thinking of it.
Gene
He
Wilder.
played as Miracle Max in Princess Bride. He played in When Harry Met
Billy
Sally.
Crystal.
Billy
Billy
Crystal.
Crystal.
Billy
Yep.
Crystal, yeah.
Billy Crystal would be, oh boy, he'd be really close to number one for me.
Yeah.
And then you have some of the more classic slapsticks, like, now I'm drawing a blank, but kind of the black and whites. You
of course,
have
the Stooges. Yeah, I mean,
you have the Stooges. You have Charlie Chaplin. You have just some of the true classics. I'm showing my age here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
And see, Jim Carrey would probably be number one. Would be Jim Carrey. Number 2 would be Adam Sandler. That would be my 1 and 2 right there.
yep.
Billy Crystal. There was for Princess Bride, and he's ad-libbing, and Rob Reiner is just filming. There's a lot of footage on this. Like, he's just ad-lib after ad-lib after ad-lib, and no one can keep a straight face as he's delivering these lines. It is just hilarious. And when they talk about it, it's just, Mandy Patinkin is doing his darndest to try to just keep a straight face, and he can't. He just can't. Not around Billy Crystal. It's just, when you're in front of somebody who's just got that kind of raw comedy talent, it's fun. So, and I agree with Jim Carrey as well. He also, he's kind of, though he's newer for us, he's older for, I guess, the newer generation now, which is a weird thing to say.
That's the thing. Our age of influence, or at least mine, Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler, and even Ben Stiller took up a lot of that space. Right.
That's
there.
true.
Yep. Sure did. Well, fellas, let's roll into trivia this week, and we'll join our
That's
time
where
around
you
the
wanna
water cooler
take it
here.
first?
We're going to do how we did there last week. I'm going to actually have you both go offline.
Oh, right. Okay.
We're going to give our listeners a chance to answer here. Then I'll bring you both back on, and we'll go nice longer first, and then we'll go from there. So,
Alrighty.
we'll get you both offline. All right, listeners. Both fellas are offline this week. We're going to do some trivia. They don't know it yet, but they will be learning it sooner as soon as they come back. This is going to be the Water Cooler Guys Trivia Recap. These are going to be 5 questions that we have had previously. Let's see how well they do with remembering what the questions were and answers. And we will probably come down to time this time here. We'll see. We'll see if how many they get there from that. So I'm just going to give you the questions, write down your answers, and see how well you do against the fellas. Question number 1. How many wives did King Henry VIII have? How many wives did King Henry VIII have? Question 2. Which U.S. state has the most active volcanoes? Which U.S. state has the most active volcanoes? Question 3. What year did World War I begin? What year did World War I begin? Question 4. What is the only fruit that has its seeds on the outside? What is the only fruit that has the seeds on the outside? And last question this week. What American city is also known as the marriage capital of the world? What American city is also known as the marriage capital of the world? Write down the answers. Remember your answers. See how well you did against the fellas. I'm going to bring Mr. Nicewonger back online here. So here we go. And I think he is back.
I am back.
There he is. All right. Now that our listeners have had a chance to answer the trivia, we're going to give you your shot this week, Mr. Nicewonger, at the Water Cooler Guys Trivia. As I gave our listeners the info, this week's trivia is going to be trivia recap. All 5 questions are from questions we've had previously throughout the podcast. And let's see how well, if you remember any of these answers to these questions that have already been asked previously.
You butthole.
So you can go 5 for 5. That's what you were looking for here.
Yeah, it could.
I'm going to be watching the time real close because I know you guys are just going to be, bam, it's going to come down to the time here.
Stop hyping this up, man.
All right, as always, I'll start the timer as soon as I start reading, and here we go. How many wives did King Henry VIII have?
You have never asked this question.
How many wives did
Never.
King Henry VIII have? I sure have. This was early episodes even, so.
7. You're 7. I'm going with 7.
Okay. All right. Which U.S. state has the most active volcanoes? Which U.S. state has the most active volcanoes?
Hawaii.
Okay. What year did World War I begin?
No.
What
and
year
no.
did World War I?
1941.
Okay. World War I began.
Frick.
All right.
Man,
Here we go.
This is
What?
horrible.
What,
I hate you.
what
right
is
now.
the only fruit that has its seeds on the
Strawberries.
outside?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
looky
Ooh,
there.
there it
Oh,
is.
yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
What American city is also known as the marriage capital of the world?
You've never asked this question before.
What U.S. city is also known as the marriage capital of the world?
Las Vegas.
All right. It came back to you, didn't it? Like,
Yes.
oh, yeah, I remember that now. Oh, my. I think you did worse on the
did.
World War I question. I think you actually did
1941.
worse.
I actually said the year the freaking World War II started.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All
I
right.
realized that when you said that. World War One.
One. Yeah, you could have
One.
passed. We could have came back around, but yeah, here we go.
Yeah, this is
All
bull
right.
crap. I'm gonna start cursing.
Oh
on
dear.
Every bit of this.
All I see is Matt just laughing
Yeah.
and laughing. I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get Nicewonger offline here. We'll
Mm.
get Wiseman in. Oh, what Nicewonger is going on about here is this week's trivia is the Water Cooler Guys Trivia Recap. These 5
Okay.
questions will be questions that we have had previously.
All right.
And Nicewonger's like, we never had this question. We never had this question. You're like, ah. Until I hit question number 4, and he knew that right away. It's like, oh, see, it's coming
Okay.
back to you.
All right.
And some of his answers are worse than his first time through answering. So here we go. And I will start the timer, and here we go.
All right.
How many wives did King Henry VIII have? How many wives did King Henry VIII have?
7. God, you
Which
gotta be
U.S.
kidding me.
state has the most active volcanoes? Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Give it to me. Which U.S. state has the most active volcanoes?
Wyoming.
Okay. What year did World War I begin?
1918.
Okay.
No, 1916. Can I say 16?
Sure.
All right.
Sure. What is the only fruit that has its seeds on the outside?
Strawberries.
Okay. And what American city is also known as the marriage capital of the world? What American city is also known as the marriage capital
Las
of
Vegas.
the world? Here we go. All right. We'll bring Mr. Nicewonger back on.
Oh, great. Oh, man. Oh, dang it.
Oh, boy. Okay.
We share a brain. I'm certain of it. I'm certain of it.
Oh,
It belonged to
my.
somebody by the name of Abby something.
Abby
Yeah.
Normal.
Abby Normal.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, Wiseman, I do
okay.
not like this. This is just
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but you know, you both learned something here, I guess. Definitely about the fruit. So here we go. Questions this week. How many wives did King Henry
He never
VIII
asked this
have?
question.
He did.
Listeners at home were probably screaming at the radio or their device that they're listening on. You both, Nicewonger, gave me 7. Wiseman gave me 7. Imagine that. It was. He only had 6 wives. King Henry VIII had 6 wives. So there we go. And then this
Wits
next
and
one,
wages?
this next one, I was just waiting for him to give me the same answer here as well. Which U.S. state has the most active volcanoes? Nicewonger gave me Hawaii, which he gave me the first time around when he answered this question. Wiseman did not give me Hawaii this time. He did give me Wyoming. I don't remember many volcanoes in Wyoming. You guys will probably remember the answer when I tell you this. It is Alaska.
No, it is Alaska.
Alaska
yeah.
has the most active volcanoes. All right. We are tied at 0-0. Going into question 3. What year did World War I begin? Nicewonger did a little worse this time around. Instead of 1936, he gives me 1941, which is World War II.
Matt even went World War One. Like,
Yeah. Yep,
What?
I'm sticking with 41. I'm sticking with 41.
Oh, man.
Wiseman gave me 1918, which, if I remember correctly, was the answer he gave me last time.
That's what I gave
and
you
he
last
changed
time.
it to 1916. You're getting closer. Maybe if I ask it a third time, you will give me 1914.
Yeah.
1914. World War I, when the Great War began.
still safe. We both got this strawberry, man.
Question 4. You guys were quick on the ball on this one. You both did not get it correct the first time.
I got it correct for the first time, actually.
Oh, did you? Yes,
I did.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
right. That is right.
Yeah.
I said
That tells me
dragon fruit.
Nicewonger is learning something here. That's
Yeah,
what this
yep.
tells me.
Yeah.
What is the only fruit that has its seeds on the outside? It is a strawberry, and you both got strawberry. So great job. Yeah, that's all right. That's some cheering on that one. You guys, all right. Yeah.
So is that a draw? I think it's a
Right
draw.
now it is 1-1. Now, coming up to the last question, what American city is also known as the marriage capital of the world? Nicewonger was then finally gave me Las Vegas. Wiseman pretty quickly gave me Las Vegas. It is Las Vegas.
Beat me on time.
So you guys are tied 2-2. So we're going to the clocks. Wiseman came in with a time. Nicewonger came in with a time. Nicewonger wanted to debate whether we ever had these questions before, and I think that might have hurt his time a little bit because he's coming in at 1 minute 14 seconds.
Counted that?
The clock was running the whole time. I couldn't stop in between.
Whole time.
The whole time?
And Wiseman came in with 56 seconds. So
All
Wiseman
right.
is this week's winner.
Good job, Wiseman.
Congratulations.
And it's back and forth. We got to make it interesting for the viewers.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
Look,
This is all on purpose.
Everyone needs a friend who's just not too smart, but he's willing to do what people ask him to do. Okay, everyone needs that friend. That's what they keep
It's
me
not
around.
nice to talk about Wiseman that way. Come on now. Jeez, what's the deal? Huh?
Where's that sound?
I was waiting for it, honestly. I was just
yeah.
waiting for and we happen to get two.
Yeah.
Man, the minute he said that these were questions that were asked on other ones, I was like, "You bunghole!" Like I knew I was gonna.
I was
look bad
thinking,
on
okay,
this.
surely I'm learning my lesson this time. I'm learning my lesson this time, and I'm pretty certain I gave like 1918 last time. That's why I was like, wait, no, it was earlier, 1916. Ha! I got it this time. Nope, I don't.
Well, Nicewanger almost gave me 6 for the wives. He was 7. I was like, oh, he almost had 6. That was close there. So.
I do not recall you asking that question ever in this game.
Yeah, I remember
It
that.
was probably the first 3 one within the first 3 episodes, probably.
I don't think it was that long ago, honestly.
Yeah.
Shut up, Wiseman.
I will tell you the Great War, 1914, was within the last 2 episodes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah. 1941. Yeah, going the wrong way here between 36.
I got World War II's correct. I mean, I think.
Yes, I would agree with that. So, great job, fellas. That it's everyone enjoys the trivia. We'll see. Maybe our listeners will email us at twcgchat@gmail.com. Let us know how they did. And with this week's trivia or prior week's trivia. And but with that, we'll wrap up this week around the water cooler. Had a great time. Hope everyone else did as well. And we will catch you next time, same time, same water cooler. And remember to stay cool and stay questionable. Everyone have a great week. We'll see ya.